Good night, fellow punters. The clock on the wall. There's a clock on the wall here. It's 9:45. I'm in the Templegate Hotel in Innis in the Banner County. Finishing up with these gang tomorrow, dropping them to Shannon Airport. I think they want to leave around 11:30. I want to leave a bit before that because they're not flying until 3 o'clock. But I'm not getting paid for the day. I just need to drop them and away I go. We had two that didn't travel with us today. We went to Sligo, to Gurteen, and we went to what was the name of the place? The Dapper Duck, for a bit of lunch. And lo and behold, didn't the two women and the brother, their family, the Kilroys, owned that place a couple of generations ago. And it's written up on the wall into the wood, Kilroy was here. So they were delighted with that, and they went out and picked a few pebbles and branches out the back to bring them back home to put in their back garden. So they were chuffed. And actually the young buck, he's 30 or around that, but his favourite thing or his in life is gathering ducks. He bought ducks in every town he was in. It's amazing. The name of the place was the Dapper Duck. So there must be some sort of an inkling in his system down through the years with ducks. What a coincidence. So it rained a lot of the way. We went to Knock as well for a while. We were there about 3/4 of an hour. There was mass on, and when we went in, and they couldn't leave, or two of them couldn't leave it. And had to get a ring blessed, a clad ring that they bought after. So they went all right. I had turkey and ham for the dinner, an apple pie and custard. Both were supposed to be coming warm. They weren't. They were sort of just not cold. Funny story about custard in Galway in the Dáil Bar last night. There was a Donegal fella from Donegal town working a week in the Dáil Bar, and he said to me, "Are you all right for dessert?" I says, "What have you?" He says, "I've apple pie." I said, "Have you custard with it?" He says, "It wouldn't be right without it." And I says, "My sentiments entirely." So I said, "But you're in Galway." And he says, "Why does that matter?" And I said, "I cannot get custard in Galway city down through the years at all. I said, I have to go outside." So he went off and he came back with a long face and he says, "I'm afraid you were right. No custard here." I says, "Yeah, doesn't surprise me." So I had a bit of fresh cream and a bit ice cream with it. But there you are. And what's with the Hurton Chokers against custard? We had two horses that put up today. Two I thought that would go on the ground. One I thought would come from behind, finishing late. The speed had set up for it with Trilby. Yes, that's exactly what happened. And then I thought, that's a few times that horse has won for us. But likes cutting the ground. 6 furlongs on heavy ground would be ideal for it. It reminds me of a couple of years, or was it last year? A couple of years ago. Fast Response won a couple of late on in the year on heavy ground for us. And then we're we're coming into Tuam and I was low on diesel, and timing is everything. So it was about 3:25. So I filled her with diesel and was going into the shop to pay for it at 28 minutes past. So I brought the phone with me, put on the race. So there was a minute late. So I didn't want them to be getting out because there was a couple waiting in Galway. So the race was on then in the bus. And says, you're at your horses again, because I played one the other day. And I said, "I know." And said, "Had your horse win?" I said, "No, it was second," but I said no bet on it at all. I didn't want to let on to them. So we got to, at 4:05, we were just in Galway, picking up the other two. And I didn't see the race, was listening to it. And then I heard that Mercurial did not break as I thought he would. Now, maybe he wasn't quick enough. I didn't see the stalls opening, but I thought he'd be up at the pace, but he wasn't, which was a pity. And I thought that Gunsberg tonight, I'd heard during the day that was fancied by Gavin Cromwell and Gary Carroll. Carroll had he wasn't riding that to Rarity, but Cromwell had the winner before that, the race before that. But I'm finished with that horse now anymore. It that changed hands for 90,000, but they'll never see it back. I meant to pay respect to Dan Maguire. He left a message the other night that his partner passed away. Dan is on the channel on the bus a while. I actually had his number from an email that he sent me, and whatever was in my head, I thought he was a hurting joker, but he's not. He's a langer. So I rang him the other night, had a 20-minute talk with him, and his partner passed away. So condolences from everybody to you, Dan. On to tomorrow. It's been a while, Ian, I don't know. We're here just teaming out to the heavens, so I didn't go for a walk anywhere. So I'm going to go through the Ascot card, and for newcomers on the bus and to the channel, all big race meetings, I'll try to go through the card. Your decision what you choose or what not to choose. The long distance cup. It's 90 yards roughly, or 83 yards short of 2 mile. Kyprios is the 4 to 6 favourite, and if we look at his record, he's 6 for 6 this year. 4 Group 1s. I was delighted to be able to see him win his last one in the Prix de Cadron in Longchamp. Last year he had only 2 runs after coming back from injury, but the previous year he had the very same 6 runs as same races and won the 6. But they took a break then. But this year they're going for it. Now, let's say, and I hope he wins tomorrow, but let's say he doesn't win, and they're going to say, well, the lads decided we'll go one more, and it was too much, and we went to the well once too often, or whatever. I thought they'd give him a break. That's why a couple of weeks ago, after having looked at his previous 6 runs 2 years ago, I thought that he may not run, and I suggested at the time that we go anti-post on Al Nayyir. I think he was 5 to 1 at the time. The fact that he's running and Trawlerman is running, he's a 5 to 1 with some places, but he's out to 13 to 2 in a few places. So I after suggesting that, I have to sort of stick with him. Now I hope, as you know, I'm very fond of Kyprios. Let's say I hope he wins, but. And Sweet William is probably looking at me tonight and saying, oh, what's wrong with me? Haven't I winning money for you all the time? We won on him without the favourite and each way several times, and a few wins as well. We won on the last day in Doncaster. So there's 3 bus horses in this race. What about doing a little Tricast combination with Kyprios, Al Nayyir and Sweet William? Now, I was impressed with Al Nayyir the last time. Since he changed hands, came to Tom
Shunting along intermittently on
here.
Al Nayyir, half a mile to go. Beamish on the outside of Fighter. Now Samui comes off the bridle. Al Nayyir spies a gap. Luke Morris sidles through it, and all of a sudden Al Nayyir comes right onto the bridle, seeing the daylight, tanking along with Harbour Wind. So Al Nayyir has got there travelling very strongly. Beamish and Fighter under pressure. Harbour Wind down the outside for Chris Hayes is beginning a sustained run. 2 furlongs to go. Al Nayyir continues to travel really strongly here, going 2 to their 1 at the moment with Harbour Wind in second place, and then Samui, Beamish and Fighter, but Al Nayyir is moving further and further clear here, about 8 to 10 lengths clear from Harbour Wind in second place. Back in third is Samui. Second run for Tom Clover proves that
was wildly impressive. Now, on a line through Vauban, we'll say, Kyprios only beat Vauban by a couple of lengths in the Cora. And nearly collared Vauban and would have. That was at a mile 6. Looks to be better at a mile or the 2 mile. Without the favourite as well, he's 5 to 2. I don't see without the 5 to 2 he was earlier there. I know Trawlerman won it last year, but Trawlerman, his sort of everything was set up from last year. I'm thinking how to make a pound out of the race. I've backed this already at 5 to 1. I backed it each way, and I'm backing it again, and I'm backing without the favourite. Last year he had 2 2 preps before he won this. I wouldn't say Ascot is Kyprios' favourite track, even though he wins. He doesn't win as impressively as he can. But anyway, that's Al Nayyir each way and without the fav. But I still hope that Kyprios wins. 1:55 the sprint. Kinross is the favourite along with Montes Habib. The stats for this race is interesting. Look at it, 6-year-old Art Power. Kinross won it a couple of years ago. Just don't think he's in the same form as before, even though he won, 2 runs back. Horse was 4th in it last year as a 3-year-old. Is Swingalong. I think he's been prepped for a man that knows how to do it, Carl Burke, and Burke is in the yard is in good form. Paying 4 places, he's a 12-to-1 shot. He was 4th in it last year, but he was drawn the wrong side, and if you remember, he came up right up the middle on his own, and then he veered over and he still finished 4th. But he was in second in 2 Group 1s to Cadam and Millstream, and the last day, I think, was the good ground. He's better with a bit of cut. Target for the race, this throws up, it's a she, not a he, I should have said. It throws up big price winners. Swingalong is the suggestion. That Bovatia, that closed well, but I think it needs 7. And 3-year-olds haven't that hectic of a record in this. Audience Stepping Down, that was the one that beat our horse, Charyn. First time going at 6 since third to Levi in 2022. Could hack up, but I think it needs good fur to be at its best. The 235, the fillies and mares. 3-year-olds have a good record in this as well. If you look at, I think, what is it? Our Poptronic last year, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row, 7, 8. 8 out of the previous 9, so that's 8 out of 10 has been 3-year-olds. A horse that ran in France at a mile 2, I think, back with a bit of cut in the ground, up to a mile 4 is Content as the 3-year-old. I was looking at the 3-year-olds there. It's rated 115. It hadn't a chance the way the race unfolded in France, and Moore just daddled home. It only beat 1 home. His stablemate, wasn't it? It was late, but it's only beaten 6 lengths. But it was on the wide outside that day. But it had beaten. It was improving. Second to You Got Me, and then it beat it well, I thought. But Doha has to have a chance as well, but the stats is against it. It's a 4-year-old on its previous second run to Blue Stocking, wasn't it? I've so much watched and getting mixed up. Tamfana. Behind Tamfana, only a couple of lengths. And then it won in France, which was a 5-6 favourite. But that was over 10. So it could improve again for the step up to another couple of furlongs. This will be his first try at it. And as will it stay? But we know Content will. So I'd sooner be in Content as a 3-year-old. But anyone, are they paying 4 places? They are. If they were, I wouldn't be against anyone back in Doha each way. On to the big one. The QE2. We have 3 bus horses in this race, so we'll have to do a little Tricast combination again. We have Tamfana, who won in Newmarket the day of the Saturday. We have Prague, that was supplemented for this race for 50k. And we have our buddy Charyn. Actually, the stats is against Charyn big time in this race, because 13 of the last 16 winners has been a 3-year-old. I couldn't believe it when I was going through it there earlier. 13 or 16, that's strong. But if you look at the Revenant Solo and like Celebrate, the ones that won all like cut. Now I'm going on that this is soft ground tomorrow. If it comes up good ground, I don't know what the weather is like. I'm hoping it's soft. It says good to soft in places, so I'm going on soft ground. And if you look at our little stable star, Charyn, it has won 2 Group 1s this year, and it could have won 4. It chased the low on speed in both races. Audience, and then in France the last day, Tribalist. They both got freebies up front. Like it was closing like hell. It's a gutsy little horse, and the soft ground won't be a problem to it. I'll have to watch this little Daisy, even though it's a second. I like this horse.
Beach hasn't picked up either. Ramadan's not going anywhere. Kalina is still last. They've got 200 to go. Tribalist is now beginning to flag. Charyn is beginning to run on down the outside, but is running out of time. Tribalist with 50 metres to hold on, and this dual Group 2 winner will lift his first Group 1.
Tribalist got bet in his run after an Arc weekend. That was in Ramatelli's race, wasn't it? So it hasn't much to spare on the figures. That Factor Cheval is actually 120, and there's another one fairly high. But Charyn, it has to be for me. Tamfana, the 3-year-old. Probably I'm going to do a reverse forecast, and I'm going to do Tamfana without the Fav, with the strength of the 3-year-old stats being so strong. What price it without Charyn? Come out with it. $7-4 without. There's the question I was asked yesterday. What would you call a donkey in Ireland? I said, is that a trick question? It was by one of the Americans, and I felt like saying I'd call a donkey someone like you that's asking me a question like that, but I couldn't say that. So I said, well, we don't call anything different in Ireland. A donkey is a donkey, like, you know, an ass is an ass. But it's amazing what people would ask you at times. So Charyn is the bet. Did I miss a race? No, we're coming to the mile 2. The Champion Stakes. This as well, 3-year-olds. Haven't that strong. Well, 2 of the last 3s, Zealoway and King of Steel. But we had the 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 4-year-old, then 2 3s. But anyone, the 3-year-olds that won it was a right one. And if I think, I was looking at different things, and I just said, look, don't complicate it. Just go to the best form in the race. The best form in the race is held by economics. The other one was second, Caradigan was second to City of Troy. It's rated £2 higher. But I was impressed both runs of economics. We were on What here? I can't remember.
Up on the home turn. 2.5 furlongs to go in the Royal Bahrain Irish Champion Stakes, and it's Luxembourg first into the straight and now been asked for more. Economics on the outside of Ghost Rider, followed then by Royal Rhyme, and Gus Rodin is trying to pick up in the middle of the track, and then Shin Emperor, Los Angeles and Hans Anderson. Still in front is Luxembourg, but here on the outside is stable companion of Gus Rodin. Economics in between horses. These fight out the finish. Running on is Los Angeles. Economics and Auguste Rodin. Economics from Auguste.
Come on, Jerry. Economics. I think with a bit of cut on the ground as well, it'd be even better tomorrow. If there was cut on the ground the last day, Auguste Rodin would not get as close as he did to him. We have... What have we in this? We have a bus horse there as well, Persica, but it shouldn't be up. It needs 1.5 miles as well in softer ground. Los Angeles will probably take the lead. Surprisingly, the Continuous has given another go. He ran terrible in France. I think he only beat one home. Or was he last? He was very near the back anyway. I think he only beat one home. But I'm on Economics. Let's check the price. Second favourite. You get 15 to 8 there. And on to the Balmoral. We have a bus horse in this as well. Days of Our Lives. The stats in this is sort of, there's only 2 horses under 100 that has won in the last few years. Out of the last 10, I think, 2 at 96. So it's like from 101 to 104. And a horse that fits that profile is a horse that won for us the last day. But I prefer if this was actually a furlong further. Because the last day he won, it was 1.2 miles. But he beat Liberty Lane. I hadn't ran from June. And Liberty Lane came out then and won the Cambridgeshire. But it takes him all his time to get there. But he was beating a good horse.
Intentions of King Lear, but not to Liberty Lane, who strikes the front here inside the final furlong and a half, the top weight, being chased down now by Days of Our Lives, who moves into second place. Liberty Lane, Days of Our Lives is getting closer by the gallop as they race inside the final furlong. Days of Our Lives on the near side beginning to get up, and Days of Our Lives gets there. He was tough, he beat Liberty Lane. Arian...
He was up £4 from, he was 97, he's 101. Isn't he 101? Yeah, 101. 4-year-old. 4-year-olds have a decent record in this race. And drawn under 10 is no harem. I think there's the draw. There's only one higher than 11 in the last 11 years, which is Escobar. So 4-11-11-4, 8-3-1-1-4. So there's an outsider there sort of as well. The last time, Witch Hunter is drawing 18, but I can't see him. Well, I couldn't say that. I can't see him winning, but the last time he ran in a handicap, it actually won. And that was in Ascot, wasn't it? It's ran in the 25 to 1 shot, Mr. Spencer. I'm not backing him to win, but I might throw a place bet on him. If you look at the last time in Ascot, June 2023 to the handicap, that was the Buckingham Palace. Mr. Spencer was riding him. But since then, like behind Charyn and Shartash audience, Charyn, Tiber Flow, They're all group and listed races. Third that was in the Lockhinge to audience. Second. That'd have a shot at a place if you were getting, we'll say, 6 to be in the top 6 or something like that. I don't see, it's not there. No. Right. Just a long time waffling on. If I like anything from the rest of the, I might have a look at Limerick. There's an old 2-year-old card at Leopardstown, and I like stay away from the 2-year-olds as much as possible, because a lot of, even the other day when I tipped one, it didn't happen for us. So we stick to what we're better at, maybe. Anyway, best of luck tomorrow. It's a great day's racing. I will have to pull in a couple of times, or I'll try and get rid of these earlier. I'll have to get a parking spot or 2 bookie shop for a few of the races. So bash the bookies. I might pull into Gort maybe, but this parking is a problem. Bash the bookies, over and out.